Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Lesser Known But Awesome Heroes. And today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite cosmic characters, and also a very obscure character, but also kind of a character who has a weird origin and story of sorts, and that is the character of Adam Warlock. And the first time I actually tried to attempt to record this, I actually almost put myself to sleep because there's a lot of ho-hum information about his publication, but to put it mildly, he debuted as the character Him in Fantastic Four issues 66 and 67 in September to October of 1967. And he was created as Adam Warlock and this was done by Stanley and Jack Kirby. However, Roy Thomas and Gil Kane brought the character back and called him Adam Warlock and premiered him in Marvel Premiere, issue number 1, in April of 1972. And what's interesting is that literally they tried to make him like this Jesus Christ superstar-esque, kind of like, pacificated savior and all this stuff. The 60s, 70s, and even probably like early 80s stuff was really horrendous. It wasn't until the 90s that it wasn't until like Jim Starlin started to get his hands on him that Warlock really started to kind of become interesting. Which I actually have the Marvel Essential to back that up. But some of his powers is that he's got super strength, stamina, agility, endurance, flight, and energy manipulation. He also possesses in his forehead the Soul Gem. And the most recent incarnation of him is actually a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy, but the old school version was part of the Infinity Watch. And so I'm just going to skip all like talking about the 90s revival and the 70s stuff. You guys can read that if you want to. But I'm going to get into the actual biography. Which he was created as an artificial human by scientists working in the Enclave. He rebels against them and battles Thor before fleeing into space. His cocoon is recovered by the High Evolutionary, who declares that he will be known to the humans as Warlock, and enlists his aid in ridding Counter-Earth of the evil Man-Beast. The High Evolutionary gives Adam Warlock a green Soul Gem, which is referred to as a Soul Jewel, to help him win this fight. When he arrives on Counter-Earth, he has amnesia and only recalls that he is known as Warlock. Thinking this is his surname, one of 4 youths finds him and becomes companions, rechristening him Adam. After the Man-Beast's defeat, Warlock leaves Counter-Earth. Warlock opposes the Universal Church of Truth, an intergalactic religious empire presided over by the Magnus. With the help of Pip the Troll, the assassin Gamora, and Gamora's employer Thanos, Warlock discovers that the Magnus is himself from the future, driven insane by the use of his Soul Gem and the In-Betweener. Warlock chooses to alter his timeline by visiting himself a few months into the future and stealing his own soul, preventing the Magnus and the Universal Church of Truth from ever existing. Holy shit. While fighting the Stranger's attempt to steal the Soul Gem, Warlock discovers the existence of 5 other gems. Thanos has gained possession of these gems and plans to use them to blow up Earth's sun. Warlock returns to Thanos' vessel to find Gamora dying and Pip's mind destroyed by Thanos. He steals their souls to end their suffering. Warlock enlists the aid of the Avengers, Captain Marvel, and Moondragon to battle Thanos. When Thanos mortally wounds Warlock and leaves him for dead, Warlock's soul is taken by his earlier self. The cosmic entities Lord Chaos and Master Order intervene, causing the gem to release Warlock's soul. A newly empowered Adam Warlock turns Thanos to stone and returns to the Soul Gem. Inside the gem, he finds a peaceful world where he lives in harmony with Pip, Gamora, and others whose souls the gem had stolen. now we get into his rebirth. When Thanos once again gains the gems and steals the soul of the Silver Surfer, the Surfer convinces Adam Warlock, Pip, and Gamora to leave the Soul World and help defeat Thanos. Thanos has assembled the 6 gems into the Infinity Gauntlet, and Warlock leads a group of Earth's mightiest heroes against him. Warlock gains the gauntlets, but in a subsequent hearing attended by the various cosmic beings of the universe, like Eternity and Galactus, is deemed unworthy of it by the living tribunal, in part because of the threat of himself eventually becoming the Magnus. He keeps the soul gem for himself and gives 1 gem each to Pip, Gamora, Drax the Destroyer, Moondragon, and a reformed Thanos. The group is then called the Infinity Watch. During Warlock's temporary possession of the gauntlet, he purges all good and evil from his being, leaving himself a creature of logic. The moral aspects of his persona in turn take on physical forms. The evil half becomes the new incarnation of Magnus, while the good half becomes the self-styled goddess. Warlock, aided by an army of superheroes, eventually defeats each in turn and absorbs them into the Soul Gem. The Watch then battles to protect the Soul Gem from Count Abyss, a powerful entity who has no soul of his own. After finally defeating him, the Infinity Gems are stolen by Rune, an extra-dimensional vampire. The Infinity Watch disbands, and Warlock goes to track down Rune. Following the discovery of a 7th gem, Warlock and the gems are returned to the main Marvel Universe. Warlock and a multitude of heroes also team with Thanos to defeat several rogue clones of the Eternal. Warlock also assists in Thanos' attempt at redeeming himself. And during Annihilation Conquest, Warlock is actually incapacitated by the backlash of souls killed during the Annihilation, and re-enters hibernation in a cocoon. The superheroines Quasar and Moondragon awaken Warlock in hopes that he'll... Sorry, got messed up there. But... okay, Quasar and Moondragon awaken Warlock in the hopes that he will help the Kree fight off the Phalanx, Phalanx. Once they are defeated, Warlock agrees to join the hero Star-Lord in the new version of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And at the conclusion of War of Kings causing a rip in the space-time continuum that threatens all existence, Warlock stitches it shut with the stable, unused timeline of the Magnus. Because of the stitching, Warlock had occasionally been the Magnus during the past several months. Weak from repairing the tear, Magnus fakes his death and escapes the Guardians of the Galaxy with several hostages. Magnus aligns himself with Lord Marvel and the Revengers, alternate versions of Captain Marvel and the Avengers who live in the universe of on the other side of the Terran space. After Magnus succeeds in bringing his allies into the Marvel Universe, Lord Marvel kills him for failing to kill the Avatar of Death first. The Universal Church of Truth tried to revive the Magnus as a child and was temporarily successful. The Annihilators were able to trap him in his cocoon with the help of the Avengers and is currently under watch in Nowhere. And there's a lot of other stories, but yeah, that's Adam Warlock, guys. That's pretty much, I guess, the basic gist of his origin. Very obscure character that's been like 4 decades or so in Marvel, but he's still a pretty cool character for who he is, but his origins are a bit confusing. So that's it, guys. That's Adam Warlock.